I am requesting you all to switch off your mobile or keep it in silent. I'll give it 10 seconds for this. Do not walk around while speaker is speaking in stage. Refrain the sensitive topics which may hurt other people's feelings. When Toastmaster Rajdeep called me and to be a Sargent-at-arms for today, I had only two choices. Number one, I could reject saying some excuses, or option two, grab this opportunity, take a small step towards my bigger goal. If I miss it today, I don't know, I have to take 9 or more steps to reach my bigger goal. Now I would like to introduce a person who believes in and live with today's theme, stitching time and saves nine. She's always inspired me, and with her organization skills in high level. Ladies and gentlemen, put hands together, our action lady of our club, our President Hannah Victoria.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chetan, for taking up the Sargent-at-arms role and bringing the house in order. Now, changing the scenario from a house, we'll change it to a flight. So I request all of you to please come forward to balance the aircraft to both sides. If you all can please come forward and occupy the seats which...
Sit closer to the cockpit.
Yes. Welcome to the Bangalore Toastmasters Club. The Bangalore Toastmasters Club is a 25-year-old club, and when it started in 1997 by 4 founders, and when they started the club, they had this vision of making the Bangalore Toastmasters Club to be one of the top 10 clubs in the world. Do you believe, members, that this is possible?
Yes.
Yes, together we can make the Bangalore Toastmasters Club one of the world's top 10 clubs. And also take this opportunity to welcome our area director, Toastmaster Akanksha Srivastava. And a very, very warm welcome to all our guests. You would have Googled out what is Toastmasters and found out that it is a platform for public speaking. But there are 2 other bonus skills also attached with being a public speaker. That is better listening and better thinking. To know more about Toastmasters, you can meet with our Vice President membership, Toastmaster Surekha, either during the break or after the meeting, and she will give you more details about Toastmasters. May I now request our Secretary, Toastmaster Bruno, to please present the minutes of the meeting 1331.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. The minutes of meeting 1331 were sent by email to all of you and by WhatsApp. Did you get a chance to see that?
Yes.
What was the first line in that?
It said minutes of the meeting.
No, that was the meeting. I got the subject. Did not read it. See, those who missed the last meeting, summary is there were 64 people who attended the meeting. 64. And most of them were members. And there were two icebreaker speech presented by the members, and one project completion speech by DTM Smitra Manmohan, and one educational session on WD-40. It was a very, very funny speech by newly married Abhay Kotari. And The snacks were served during the break, and those who missed it, you missed jackfruit, and you missed one cake, and one specialty from Gujarat. So that's it for now. And do read my minutes because I take a lot of pain in writing that. Over to you.
Any amendments to the meetings, the minutes of the meeting presented? Yes.
Just one suggestion.
Yeah.
Names of all Toastmasters could be presented in full. So we only have the first name.
Okay.
And in some places we have names of second name. So
Yes. Yes, that would be discussed. Yes. Okay. Great. So I stand to pass minutes of the meeting 1331. I now declare meeting number 1332 open. Now the theme for today, a stitch in time saves 9. Many of us here in this room are well aware of this concept. The very fact that all of you on a Friday evening, and many of you are students here, have given your time to improving your skill. So this counts for a huge round of applause to each one of you present here for the Toastmaster meeting. One thought or one facet of this phrase, a stitch in time saves 9. A role which we play in life. Many of us are parents and many of you will be parents. This role, I feel, parents take, the phrase we take a bit too seriously. Some of my conversations with my teenage daughter goes like this. Nathania, please study, Raja. You will get a course which you like if you study now. Don't touch your pimples. You will get a poxed face. Raja, please swim fast and get a medal. Then you will go to a university you like. You will get in the sports quota. And anytime I see her sitting idle, it just beats me out and I quite freak out. Once this theme was announced, I started to think, what have I done? I've stitched all over her. I think I've done all kinds of stitches. Needle stitch, back stitch, cross stitch, zigzag stitch, hemming, straight stitch, everything I have done. But God has been kind to me. He's given me a second daughter. She's 4.5 years younger to her. And one time I happened to tell her, Kanne, swim fast, no please. She looked straight into my eyes and she said, Mama, you know swimming. Stitched. After that, I have not opened my mouth regarding her swimming. So whether stitching or being stitched, in a few years' time, we'll know which one works. And I earnestly hope, touch wood, that both techniques work for the both of them. Taking this meeting forward, it's a privilege to introduce the pilot of today's meeting. The flight number is 1332. This Toastmaster has been a Vice President Education, and he's helped me quite a lot. How? He and me have shared the same term, that is July to December, as VP Education. So whenever I had a doubt or I wanted to know what the theme of the meeting could be, I would quickly go to my Gmail and check what he did. He celebrated Sir Vishweshwaraya's birthday in one of the meetings. So I inculcated that. So he's helped me a lot. And he says that Toastmasters is the best thing that happened to him apart from his professional and personal life. He is a senior manager in a tech MNC, and he loves experimenting with join me to welcome the pilot of this meeting, Toastmaster Vijay Kalkundri.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. So I assure you that I'll take all of my fellow passengers to the right destination at the right time. True leaders are never voted, appointed, or elected. True leaders emerge out of crisis. 14th August 1999, 400 kilometers from here in a small town called Bellary, which is known for just two kinds of climate, summer and very hot summer, had an old building where telephone exchange employees were placed. The building was built in 1960s. It had 4 floors. The ground floor was occupied by a reception and all the other adjoining facilitator for the smooth functioning of the building. The first floor was for sales guys. The second floor was for technical people, and the third floor was a recreational place, like where people could relax, and there was a cafeteria as well. So this building had an adjoining vacant site at behind. And we all know when there's a vacant site belonging to some government offices, they are used as a dump yard. And at that dump yard, they had dumped a lot of wires, and at one corner there was a stack of grass. And that being a hot summer, there's a high tension line which was passing over that vacant site. And due to the extreme heat, the pile of wires caught fire. It was around 4:30, and the entire building was immersed in their work. Either they were winding up or deciding what to do for the Independence Day. And that's when the fire had spread to a larger place. At the same time, the telecom district manager, Mr. Subhash, was passing by that place. He saw that there was a place where the fire had caught, and in a fraction of a second it could spread over to other places. He had 2 options: either to call his subordinates and ask them to act in haste, or take reins or take control of the situation. Mr. Subhash that day ran, separated the remaining pile of wires which had not caught fire, and with the help of people who were passing by on the road, lifted the grass and put it to the side on the other side of the vacant site. What happened after that? He ran to all the floors. That was an old building, there was no lift. He ran to all the 4 different floors, asked the division heads to move out of the building because the smoke could suffocate some of the departments which were not well ventilated. That day, Subhash emerged as a Masiha. He ensured not only protected the government property but saved a lot of lives. A stitch in time saves 9, but that day it made a difference to more than 99 lives. So a leader, that day, as a leader, he actually showed 4 characteristics, LEAD. L stood for leadership. He acted as a true leader. Second, E for execute. He executed, not only planned. He could have delegated things, but he executed things. A for accountable. He was accountable for whatever things happen in the premises, where he could have called the fire extinguisher and moved on. D, direction. He showed the way that how a leader should perform. This is a true mark of a great leader. In 1922, a similar leader set on a path when he saw that a lot of people were not comfortable speaking in front of public. But it took him 2 years. It was in 22nd October 1924 when the first chartered meeting of Toastmaster happened at YMCA. After that, there was no looking back. This particular great institution called Toastmaster, founded by Rajdeep Medley, is currently has 16,600 club, more than 3 lakh members in 149 countries. Let's take an example of India. India has 5 districts, more than 800 clubs. Each district having somewhere between 150 to 200 clubs. That shows the depth and the width of this Toastmasters movement. Toastmasters movement, which is based on 4 basic principles: respect, integrity, service and excellence, is prudent that any particular movement which is held on to it, where there is a commitment, it can strive for a longer time. And our club is the second oldest and one of the biggest clubs in this country. Can we now have a round of applause for Bangalore? Work in English has got 3 parts to it, like past, present and future. On the same lines, a Toastmaster meeting has got 3 sessions to it: prepared speech, extempore, a table topic session, and third is the evaluation session. So in prepared speech session, a speaker has actually prepared on certain objectives and is going to come here and give speeches. And the second part of it is impromptu session, where the topic is going to be on the fly and the speaker has to speak. And the third and the most important aspect, like where we look towards future, is where the general evaluation comes in. Today, to help us take us through the session, we have a general evaluator who has a huge experience of 30 years in finance. But now he has taken a break and is helping a lot of people to overcome their fear of accountants. Please put your hands together for the general evaluator for today's session, Toastmaster Nitin. A general evaluator has got a team of players, and that team is going to assist him in doing his job. And those 4 players are called taggle team: timer, counter, grammarian and listener. Today as timer, we have Toastmaster Sharma. Toastmaster, can you explain your role, please?
Hi, good evening everyone. So my role is basically to check time, as we said, it's a timer role. So each speech, like what we have, Sargent-at-arms, it is 1 to 2 minutes, and President Presiding Officer's speech should be around 6 to 8 minutes, and Toastmaster of the day, it is 4 to 6 minutes. Evaluators, it is around 2 to 3 minutes, and speeches based on the module, and table topic speeches, it is 1 to 2 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we have So a language when spoken without flaws looks beautiful. And today, to help us see that we use lesser flaws like ahs and ums, we have our counter role played by Toastmaster Ghanshyam.
As a counter, it's my duty and responsibility to listen to this meeting very carefully and to check for the words where the filler words have used as a, u, and those words, and at the end of meeting I'll repeat for that.
Grammar forms the backbone of any language, and today the role of a grammar Nazi is played by Toastmaster Chetan. Can you have a round of
To make sure your speech is outstanding, you need to use outstanding grammar throughout your speech. As the grammarian or the grammar Nazi, as Toastmaster Vijay says, I will be watching what you say, and I will be making a note of the good and not so good usages of grammar. I will also check whether you're using the word of today. Today's word is pugnacious, and it means quick to argue or fight. For example, the pugnacious child quickly ended up being the playground bully. I hope to see you all use good grammar, and also use the word of the day. And I will report back to the chief when called upon.
Thank you, Toastmaster. So fourth and important role taker where we not only hear but we listen. So our listening skills are today checked by Toastmaster Chetan. Toastmaster Chetan, can you know details of your role?
He's listening.
Okay, the Toastmaster Chetan is on the way. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the first part of a Toastmaster meeting. It's called prepared speech. And the first evaluator today is man of threes. He has 30 years of work experience. He's member of 3 clubs. He's pursuing 3 pathways. And not only that, he also has 3 hobbies: listening, audiobooks, walking, as well as cooking. Man with 2 triple crowns and 2 pathbreaker awards. Can we have the guidelines for the first speaker, Toastmaster Naresh?
The first speaker is Joseph Paul will do the evaluation.
Yeah, Guruprasad going to speak. Joseph Paul, you are the evaluator. Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, the first speech would be from the Level 5 Effective Project from the Effective Coaching Path. The purpose of this project is to apply the skills needed to successfully lead in a volunteer organization. Timer, please note the time is 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you. Well, the first speaker has done many roles at Toastmasters. He has been a treasurer, Sargent-at-arms at our club, treasurer at our club, twice VPE at a different club, and twice 2 terms as a president at one of the clubs called Rising Toastmasters. Today, he is going to speak on Level 5 Effective Coaching Path, speech titled Leadership is a Responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Guruprasad.
Thank you very much, Vijay, for your fantastic introduction. Leadership is a responsibility. Leadership is a responsibility to serve. Leadership is a responsibility to care. Leadership is a responsibility to create opportunities. Good evening, Toastmasters. When I was a college student, when I was talking to my friends said that, Guru, you have some leadership material in you. Oh, that got motivated. Then it helped me to pursue my management studies. After joining management studies, I've learned a funda called MSc. Even though we come from a science stream, it is not Master of Science. Let me see what it does. Way back, my professional mentor came to me and told that, Guru, you don't have an excellent communication skills. Why don't you join a Toastmasters? Then, as usual, I started inquiring about Toastmasters, and one fine day, I came to Bangalore Toastmasters. Then, our Robinson sir invited me with a grace. He welcomed me, offered me a coffee. I was so surprised to see from him. Then I thought, oh, this is what the care is all about. And then I decided, let me start my career with Toastmasters journey with Bangalore Toastmasters. I'm continuing. Then one fine day, my then mentor, Prakash Kamankar, he came to me and said, Guru, there is a Japanese bilingual club. Why don't you come and help this club for 4 months? And in fact, fine, let me go and help this club. Then later, in my Toastmaster journey, I introduced to Madam Srilakshmi Madam. That is where I understand the responsibility of sharing and caring, which is very important to any individual. And most importantly, it is all about, the leadership is all about creating opportunities. When I got an opportunity to associate with Rising Jansai Dojo, then later revised as Rising Speakers, Vijay came to me and told that why don't you take up a position or a role as in Sargent-at-arms or VP Education. Then later on, I have got another opportunity to conduct a joint speechcraft program in collaboration with Bangalore Toastmasters, which is one of the milestone speechcraft program conducted by Rising Speakers. And it was a grand success where we have got 24 odd members. And later on, we were able to convert 5 members to Rising Speakers. Eventually, at a certain point of time, we need 20 members to make the club distinguished. And we have conducted another speechcraft program. Thanks to Bangalore Toastmasters for their support from the day one in taking up the roles, helping to promote the speechcraft program. Then eventually, one point of time, we have reached 20 members and the club has become distinguished. Not only become distinguished, 2 Toastmasters has become DTMs. And where one of our Toastmasters is DTM Vijay from Bangalore Toastmasters and other is Praveen Suresh from other club. And the next 1 year, the direction changed, and wherein sometimes when I'm low in motivation, I talk to my mentor, Rajdeep sir. One point of time I went and told to Rajdeep sir, sir, I don't seem to be a leader. My wife always tells that you're not a good leader. Rajdeep sir said, no Guru, why are you thinking like that? You're a good leader. You can do that. So he motivates, and motivation is the most important thing. And after which, luckily, in my journey, I have a good friend, the then area director and today division director, Saurav, entered into the Toastmasters. He has helped me for almost a year to make the club distinguished again. So the club started 2015, had a tough time after 2020, and in 2021 and 22, we became the President Distinguished. Not only President Distinguished, most of our members has got an opportunities to excel at a different levels. Either it could be in area contest or in the division contest, or today our speechcraft search has become an area director. So we have created an opportunities. Not only that, when I'm talking about MSc, it's not about creating, motivating and sharing and caring. It's all about moving as well. So we have to create a right set of leaders to manage the club for the 4th clubbing activities. And today we have a fantastic team to run the club, Rising Speakers. And I would also love to thank the Bangalore Toastmasters, all the members, and with Bangalore Toastmasters, I would love to extend my appreciation to the Gabby's Toastmasters for their wonderful support for me throughout this tenure. When we are talking about leadership, Toastmasters is a fantastic place here to practice leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, you come here, experience the practice of leadership. And here, you get an opportunity to try enhancing your leadership skills. With that, I would again love to say that The leadership is the responsibility to serve. Over to
A hallmark of a great leader is not just planning, but ensuring that the plan comes into action. And that particular speech from Guru is a testament of that particular words. So moving on to the next speech, the next speaker will be evaluated by man of three P's, like which I have already told. He has already 30 years of experience. And he's a member of 3 clubs and pursuing 3 pathways and has 3 hobbies. It still remains same, even on the first speech. So he has 2 triple crowns and 2 path-breaking awards. Can we have the guidelines for the second speech from Toastmasters?
Good evening, Toastmasters. The second speaker today is attempting a speech. The purpose of this project for him is to clearly understand and define how Toastmasters envision mentoring. And the purpose of the speech that he is going to deliver today is for him to clearly share his experiences as a prodigy. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lokesh. When I was speaking to the speaker, he told me that the last speech when he gave was a long, long ago. But then it was because of his mentor's consistent push that he did not give it away. He's continued giving his speech after a long break. The importance of mentoring in Toastmaster is, we all know that, how important it is. So to give a speech on mentoring, speech titled, "There can be no implementer without a mentor." Can we have a huge round of applause for speaker number 2, Toastmaster Lokesh.
Once upon a time, in the far land of Ithaca, Greece, there lived a king, King Odysseus. And this king entrusted the care and education of his son Telemachus to a very special person. Under the care and guidance of this special person, Telemachus grew up to be a very brave prince. Does anyone here know the name of this very special person?
Mentor is.
Thank you. Toastmaster of the day, esteemed guest, my fellow Toastmasters, that very special person was mentors, as Vijay and Rajdeep said. Mentor is someone, an experienced person who provides guidance and support to empower the proteges to attain their goal. In Toastmasters, a mentor is assigned to a new journey just before the induction. And I'm very grateful to VP Education, who was Vijay at the time, to assign Toastmaster DSouza as my mentor on my journey to the Toastmasters. Now, the scope of the mentoring can differ a lot, depending on the needs of the protege. It could be from selection of the path up to handling a challenging topic in your projects. When I joined Toastmasters and I was introduced to pathways, I got more confused. Why? I was thinking, should I take a presentation mastery or should I select visionary communication? Content seemed to be the same for both of them. My mentor, I approached my mentor, he asked me specific questions that helped me to identify my needs, and that helped me to select the path for myself. A mentor is a guide, However, unfortunately, I did not take the guidance and support of a mentor for all my speeches during the path. For some of the speeches, I would send him the text of the speech and request him for the feedback, and he would share his feedback. I would incorporate that feedback. For some of the other speeches,
We had a mock session where he provided feedback on a very specific topic like gestures or voice modulation. Mentor is someone who always supports. Once I had a very important presentation at office and I wanted to take feedback from my mentor for the presentation. I was slightly apprehensive. Since this is not related to any path in the Toastmasters, would it be appropriate to ask a mentor, Toastmaster mentor, to give me feedback? I approached, I asked, and he readily agreed. And the feedback that he provided for the presentation helped me to improve my presentation, and I was able to achieve my professional goal with that. So the Toastmasters scope, the mentors, I learned that day that the scope of the mentor is not just the Toastmasters, sometimes it goes beyond that also. Few years ago, my father passed away, and my mentor asked me, Lokesh, has your father left a will for you? Do you need any legal guidance? He has a very extensive experience in the legal field. I was touched that a mentor cares with your heart, not only for your path, your projecting pathway, but also for your life in general. My mentor, he also encouraged me to go outside the Bangalore Toastmasters Club and give speeches. He always said that a new audience will give you a very different experience to help you grow as a well-rounded speaker. Not well-rounded. He also encouraged me to take leadership role, but unfortunately, my work commitment did not allow me to give that much time, and he respected that decision. A Toastmaster always, a mentor respects what the protege needs them for. In retrospective, I could have really taken a lot of guidance from my mentor for all my paths. And here I encourage all the new members that please take guidance and support of your mentor for everything. It could be as small as understanding your project, or it could be getting a feedback on your speech with your mentor, practicing your speech with your mentor, getting specific feedback on the topics, or it could be any other thing related to the pathways for your path also. Please also remember that your mentor would also provide you support for preparation for the contests that are organized by the Bangalore Toastmasters Club. And with that, you will move forward in your journey for the Toastmasters also. The mentoring, as I mentioned, has many different levels, has lots of dimensions. It's not just related to the Toastmasters, but it changes, it transforms one as a person also. And here, I would request that Toastmasters is not just about the communication skills. It's also about, in Toastmasters, you also improve your leadership skills. Whether it's a high performance leadership project, or whether it's taking up a leadership role, please approach your mentor, seek their guidance, seek their support to do your best in the various roles. For all of you, I urge you, please become a mentor. In Toastmasters, to become a mentor, you need to be a member of good standing for the 6 months. You should have completed a path, and you should have undergone a mentoring training. When you mentor someone, it's not just that the person benefits, but you also learn a lot as a mentor from your protege. Public speaking improves the confidence of a people. With confidence, you can take a greater risk in life and you can succeed. And helping someone succeed is a very fulfilling journey. It feels very good when you help someone succeed. One day, like the king Odysseus of Ithaca, your protege might reflect and say, I entrusted my education in Toastmasters to a very special person called mentor. Over to you.
Mentor is one person who shows the way, goes there, and walks the way with you. Can we have a round of applause for the mentor and leader? The next evaluator for the speaker 3 works at IBM, loves sports and traveling. So when I asked him what does stitching time saves 9, means to him he was mentioning about if the EBMP would have thought about this adage. The rainy season is coming, the roads would have been much better in Bangalore during this rainy season. To tell the guidelines of the third speech, can you have on stage Toastmaster Srilakshmi?
Thank you. Unfortunately, I don't have a C which you can recount. But anyway, coming to today's speech, the speaker is attempting the leadership development series in the pathways. This is a speech from the level 3. This is about connecting with storytelling. The purpose of this project is either the speaker can embed a story in a speech or his whole speech can be a story. Title, this is a 5 to 7 minutes speech.
Thank you. The next speaker is head of academic research at Sindhi College. He's a 5-time national level table topics champion, 4-time national level evaluation champion. A speaker who comes on stage to light up the hearts. No wonder he's called Rajdeep. So can we have with a round of applause, can we call the speaker number 3, Toastmaster Rajdeep?
Ruchika was working as the manager legal affairs at Deloitte. At 27 years, she was climbing the corporate ladder pretty fast. But work had become very hectic as a corporate lawyer in the last few months because of so many corporate complaints and legal documents. And today, it was a Friday afternoon. And she was looking forward to meet her childhood friend Rachna, who had married her sweetheart Sujit and was willing to take them, go to this farmhouse where they were having a bash. The farmhouse was located at the Bangalore-Mysore highway, around 25 kilometers from the city, and she wanted to unwind at their farmhouse and have a great time there. She wanted to leave office early by around 5 p.m. and as she was packing her bag, her boss, who was a sadistic man, Sandeep Gupta, called her and said, Ruchika, you have to go through this 20-page legal document, and by Monday, if you don't submit this document, it will be very difficult. She banged her desk in frustration. Again, this fellow had done the same thing. She went through the document, and by the time she had finished going through the document and checking it up, it was already 6 o'clock. She went down to the basement, got into her Honda City, started and went into the traffic. The traffic was horrible. Pedestrians were moving like ants going to an untoward destination. The traffic with blaring horns and so much rush of lorries, autos, cars were creating such a ruckus. By the time Ruchika went out of the city, it was already 6:45 p.m. She was frustrated, and her frustration was added by another incident. When she looked at her petrol gauge, it was showing red. She had forgotten to fill her petrol. She looked for a nearby petrol pump. And there was a petrol pump which was nearby, but there were at least 5 cars standing in line. She got in last and she waited to fill her petrol. But at that particular point of time, she looked for her purse. And unfortunately, she realized to her utter horror that she had left her purse in a hurry at the office itself. Her mobile phone wasn't there. Her debit card wasn't there. What will she do? She rummaged through her glove compartment and she found that she had left 200 rupee notes over there. She immediately picked it up And as the petrol attendant was filling up petrol and she got down, she gave him 200 rupees. He filled it up, and through the corner of her eye, she saw a man who was a little muscular with rough features in a black Innova staring at her. She thought, my please, this is something unusual. But anyway, she said, why should I bother? She got into her Honda City and started on the highway again. And after a few minutes, through her rear view mirror, she saw the same black Innova behind her with that same man with goggles, a leather jacket and rough features following her. Was she hallucinating? She said, let me accelerate. She accelerated. And the black Innova also accelerated. There was a crowd of cars a little earlier and she slowed down. She said, might be I'll slow down. And the Innova also slowed down. Now her heart was racing. Was she actually being followed? And at that time, something struck her and she broke into a cold sweat. She realized that just a week back, she had read a newspaper article which had said that the Bangalore police was looking out for a rapist come murderer who had murdered 2 women on the Bangalore-Mysore highway. Raped them and killed by slitting the throat of the woman with a jagged knife. She said, this cannot be true. She raced ahead and the black Innova continued its hot pursuit. Now she was actually in a dilemma. She was at least 10 kilometers ahead and she had to decide whether I continue the highway and go to the farmhouse or take a shortcut to the farmhouse, which she knew, which was only 6 kilometers, by taking the mud track. She said, I will take the shortcut. She went fast and her car for the first time touched 100 kilometers per hour. And the Toyota Innova in hot pursuit was also touching 100 kilometers per hour. She took a right turn into the mud track and the angry horns blared. But she got into the mud track and she thought, yay, clapping her hands in delight that that man had got caught in the traffic. But to her utter horror, she saw that the man had actually taken the mud track. He had almost met with a collision with a truck, but he had followed her. Now she was actually drenched in cold sweat because she knew that in this 6-kilometer stretch, if she was overtaken and caught, people would find her dead body in the ditch. She raced ahead. She went ahead much faster, and the back Innova also followed her in hot pursuit. Now her car was going from left to right in terrible ignitions, were moving up and down. And again she noticed one more thing, that her petrol was running out. It was showing the red again. But the Innova was not giving up. She prayed for the first time in her life, God, please do something. But then gathered all her strength and pressed the accelerator and moved ahead. Now the farmhouse was just 2 kilometers away. Could she make it? Would the petrol run out? The man with the goggles and the teachers was leering down from back. She realized that now, if the farmhouse gate was closed, she would have to get on. So she prayed again, let the farmhouse gate be open. She accelerated, went out, and as she entered the farmhouse gate, she realized it was open. Thank God! And she saw that there was a light glowing in the ground floor. Immediately she went in and she screamed. She choked her ignition, rushed out of the car and screamed, Sujit, please come out! Please come out! Rachna, please come out! There's a man following me! Rachna and Sujit came out. And she said, there's a man following me! Sujit, call up the police! Sujit looked at Rachna and said, call up the police immediately. Sujit ran to the kitchen, got a knife and came. The black van Innova was actually at the heels. It also screeched and came to a stop. Sujit, who was also trained in martial arts, went out, and the black man with the goggles and the leather jacket came out. He pointed the knife at the black man and said, what's wrong with you? Ruchika said, this man has been following me for the past 30 kilometers. Sujit pointed the knife and said, what's wrong with you? The man said, not me, not me. And he pointed at the dicky of the car. Not me, not me. Sujit said, what are you talking? He again pointed at the dicky of the car. as they went to the dicky of Ruchika's Honda City and they opened it, they found a man slouched over there with a jagged knife in his hand. He immediately shut the bonnet and the police sirens rang in the background.
That was a spine-chilling story. Thank you. Thank you for that. Like, what is the moral of the story? Is never, on a Friday evening, never ever stop at a petrol pump. So with that, like, since our throats have gone dry and we are feeling hungry, it's time for a short 8-minute break. Time out, please note 8 minutes break. Thank you everyone for settling down. Please come forward. So it was 29th May 2022 when 14th edition of IPL got over. And still there is 100 days to go for our ICC T20 World Cup to start. So we are all missing that action of IPL, cricket and all of that. To ensure that we do not miss that particular action-oriented session, we have the unveiling of second season of TPL, Toastmasters Premier League. To tell us more about what is the TPL session all about, can we have on stage Toastmaster Hena Victoria coming on behalf of Toastmaster Vijay.
Okay, I'm making this presentation on behalf of Vaidya. Okay, so all of you are ready for the second session of Toastmaster Premier League? Yes. Yep. Great. Okay. The first thing is that the criteria to join it is that you have to be members of the club, and until I think the last induction was done for Sahana, so she's included in TPL. The rest of them will join the second year, yeah, which we'll have 2.5 months later. The session is for 12 weeks. This TPL is for 12 weeks, and yes. So we thought we'll make it simple this time. We will have points for attendance and speeches. Okay, and each team will have 4 teams. There will be 2 teams for the senior Toastmasters and 2 teams for the junior Toastmasters. Who fall into the senior Toastmasters is members who've been with us for over 5 years. And there is a captain. The captain and the VP education of each team can be chosen by the team themselves. So it's up to you to choose and name your team. The suggestion would be to name your team on the light of Toastmasters. Last time we had it as the Royal Challengers and just to have the cricket fever. But this time you're free to do it with maybe Rajdeep's medley team or famous Toastmasters if you all can do it. And the point system, now each team, the team A, team B are the senior Toastmasters. Both teams are having 17 members each, and team C and B have 22 members each. Okay, so we want the minimum attendance to get the points is 50% attendance in your team. Yes, so you will get 9 points. And okay, if you go above 9 people, okay, you will get bonus points, 2 bonus points for every member who attends. So basically, out of 17, if 9 people attend, you are getting 9 points. But if you get 10 people, then you get 9 plus 2, 11 points. Yes? This is the sample attendance wherein 9 people attend, say members 3 are attending, 3 additional members. Each member gets 2 points additional, so 6 points. And the total earned, that is Roman number 1 and 2, it will be 15. Now the weightage will be taken only at 40%. That is your attendance will be taken only at 40% of 15. Yes? The second one is the speeches given. So, minimum of 9 speeches, each team should make a minimum of 9 speeches. In the 12-week period, at least 9 speeches you have to make to get into the point system. Okay? And the minimum speech for delivering the minimum number of speeches. And if you attend more than 9 speeches, if you are giving the 10th or the 11th speech your team, then you would get 4 points additional. And again, this is calculated at that 40%. Your total, the score system is at 40% for attendance and 40% for speeches. So this is how it is the same. The minimum points given for 9 speeches is 18, that is 2 points each. And then the additional speeches, if you are given 3 points, 3 speeches, we've got it as 4 points per additional speech, so you get 12. Total number is 30, and then again the weightage is 40%. Yes, so 40% of 30 is what you will get. Okay, so now the other segment is the PR, which I will ask our VP PR to please present. Over to Toastmaster Abirama.
Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, good evening.
Good evening.
Are all the members of BTMC excited about the Toastmasters Premier League?
Yes.
So are there any HR professionals here? There's no HR. Okay, no problem. Well, of course, all of you would be dealing with a few HRs, right, in your office.
Yeah.
And you all will be asking for more bonus. Won't you? So here I am presenting to you some bonus points. Of course, Hannah talked about 40% weightage for attendance, 40% weightage for speeches. And once you meet a certain eligibility criteria, which Hannah will again present, you can get bonus points for branding the BTMC. Okay? How many of you here are on Facebook? How many of you are on Instagram? LinkedIn? Okay, that's nice. They have a very professional community here. So, we are going to focus on 3 social media platforms. Okay? So you need to get us more followers on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. points applicable only for new followers, excluding the existing members of the club. Okay. And then, so a captain or a PR representative of your team will consolidate the followers list and then send it to me every week. Okay. So we will verify and we will allot the points, and this is where you really have an edge. You can have an edge and you can actually go ahead and win the TPL. So please consider this very seriously. And then the correct links of the social media pages, the Facebook, Instagram, and the LinkedIn pages, because I have seen some pages which are not active, somebody has created, those are fake, but I will share the correct links on the BTMC WhatsApp group. So you have to make sure your people go and like or follow those pages. Now here is the point system, very simple. So minimum number of followers to meet the eligibility criteria. For your team to qualify to get any points, you should get 50 followers. Okay? Now, maybe you have a friend who has an account in Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. If he likes all those pages, you'll get, that will be counted as 3. Okay? It need not be 50 different people. But even if one person likes all the pages, then it will be, the count will be 3. Right? So once you have 50 followers, you are eligible to get 25 points. Okay? Once you have 50 followers, you will get 25 points. After that, see, I am giving you more bonus. After that, every block of 10 followers will fetch you 10 points. So what does this mean? First 50 followers, you will get 25 points. The next 50 followers, you will get 50 points. Right? So it's going to double. Now the 100 to 150, don't ask me. I'm already giving you double. So yeah, so it's going to double after 50. So here is an example calculation. So team A will get 49 followers. I'm sorry, I cannot give you a single point. Okay? A minimum eligibility criteria is 50. Now team B comes up with 100 followers. Now of course you'll get the minimum point, that is 25. Followed by that, the bonus points for the next 50 followers would be another 50 points. Totally you'll get 35. And as Madam President said, the weightage for this is 20%. And that is why 20% of 75 would be 50. Similarly, Team C has 155 followers. Now, I cannot count the 5. 155 will become 150, and the calculation will be done accordingly. So the idea here is to evangelize all the good work that this esteemed club is doing. We all, each one of us is a brand ambassador for this club, and let us reach more people. Let us make sure that more and more people are benefited from the Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Any questions?
Can all the followers be just on Facebook or just on Instagram or just on?
Doesn't matter. So if you have a friend who will follow my BTMC Facebook page, it will be one follower. I mean, he need not have all the accounts, right? So it doesn't matter. Any more questions? Is it all clear? So are you ready to evangelize the BTMC brand?
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's not enough. I don't think you get 50 points with that energy. Are you ready?
Yep.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. And back to Madam President.
Toastmaster Abirama. So I will share, Vijay will share the teams. If I put it up now on the board, I know there's going to be a whole lot of discussion. So we put it up on the group, and you all can create your own groups just like the last time. So basically this is the thought. We are encouraging all the Toastmasters to give speeches, come to the club and evangelize our club. So we are focused on 3 aspects where we feel we can improve. So that is the thought process, and I know each member is very competitive, be it seniors or juniors, all of you are quite competitive. So in that spirit, in the spirit of doing well for yourself, for your club. So that is the concept of the Toastmaster Premier League. Any other questions apart from the PR which you all have for the attendance and speeches? Okay, great. Then I hand it over to Toastmaster Vijay.
Thank you, Kalkundri, and I'm sure all the members are excited here for the TPL season 2. We go to the next part of our Toastmaster meeting to take us through this. We have a Toastmaster who thinks that believing yourself and taking a decision on timely is what you can do. If you do not take a decision, you are not taking a decision is what she thinks. The Toastmaster who has been awarded Rising Speaker of Bangalore Toastmaster for the term Jan to July 2022, Toastmaster Srilakshmi is going to be the table topic master. Can you have a round of applause?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to the second session, which is the table topic session. It's one of the exciting sessions. One, because you get a topic right on spot and you can speak impromptu. That is, think on your feet and you speak impromptu. What are the benefits, you might ask? It enhances your listening, your thinking, your organizing and speaking abilities. Timer, please note, please show them the green card at 1 minute, 1 minute 30 the yellow card, and red at 2 minutes, and they get a grace time of 30 seconds to summarize. So without further ado, let's begin the table topic session. The first topic is, when nothing is certain, everything is possible. When nothing is certain, everything is possible. Toastmaster Alan.
Thank you for that wonderful topic. When nothing is certain, everything is possible. This takes me back to a time, I remember when I was very small, and we went to this fair, and that was the first time in my life that I had seen a giant wheel. I thought the people that were on it were crazy, right? They were screaming, but yet they were on it. And I was wondering why. Now, the thing is, I had gone there with my friends and their father, and I was scared of the father. So the father said, we are going on the giant wheel. I didn't have the guts in me to say, I don't want to go. I just quietly went. The wheel started. And initially it was very slow. And then we reached on top, and I was like, wow, what a wonderful view. I never knew, maybe that's why these guys are on it. And then suddenly it becomes fast, and I was like, I thought I'm going to lose my life. I was scared my chappals would fall off, right? But then something very interesting happened. I realized that I was not the only one who was scared. When I looked at my friend's father, he also was scared. And for the first time, I saw him laugh. And then I realized we are sharing this moment together. We are sharing this incredible moment together. And even though it was not certain, in a lot of ways, life was good. And that small incident made me realize, because it was very interesting. I didn't want to go on it, but by the end of it, I was wondering why it stopped. And I never wanted that journey to end, right? So my only, that has always taught me that no matter what it looks like, sometimes it's great to go on the journey, because you never really know where it's going to lead you. Back to the
topic is retire with $1 million or precious loads and loads of memories. For this, I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Saurabh. Or with precious loads and loads of memories. Loads of memories.
Okay. When we talk about happiness, what does it mean? Should I retire with millions of dollars, or should I continue and enjoy my life with lots of memory? I would go with second part, because by the time I retire, I would have fulfilled all my dreams, or I would have enjoyed most of the things in my life which I wanted to achieve, which I was dreaming for. And by the time of retirement, I feel that lots of money or millions of dollars might not be useful for me. At that time, I would see that it would be lots of good memory, because if I am living, I am going to live with lots of good memory. It means that I have done something good for me or something good for the community. When we create good memory, how we create? We create good memory when we do something for someone we love for, when we do something good for community. And if we do that, we create lots of good memory, because we get good feedback from a person surrounding us. So, for me, I would always prefer to live with lots of good memory rather than retiring with millions of dollars. Thank you.
That would be my choice as well, Toastmaster. The next topic goes to Neil Sequeira, who's been a former member of Bangalore Toastmasters, but has come all the way from Australia and is a part of the Australian Toastmasters Club. His topic: being in the race itself is a grace. Being in the race itself is a grace. Toastmasters, please put your hands together.
Put your hands up here if you're feeling anxious, that you're worried that you're going to be the next one called upon to speak. Because that's exactly what happened to me. I've been a Toastmaster for about 20 years at least. And to this day, I'm still terrified of being asked to do a table topics. To the point where I brought my daughter along so she can see how terrified Dad gets. And it's not only for her. Now, I'm truly going to apologize here because I do not remember the question you asked me. So I'm going to talk about something that I want to talk about, which is, what does Toastmasters actually do for you? Some of you already know the story. Most of you wonder about Toastmasters as a public speaking or a leadership or a listening development or personal development space, a platform, literally a platform that allows you to climb up and present and practice. For me, it was slightly different. I walked in through the door. I got told on my very first meeting to stand up and do a table topics. I had no idea what the question was. I had no idea what the answer was. But I do remember going back and having a certain gentleman in the corner wearing a suit today as my mentor because I signed up. I signed up to be a Toastmaster, but I did end up marrying his daughter. And Toastmasters have become now literally my family. That doesn't answer the question, but I've completed my 2 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Neil. But the topic was being in the race itself is a grace. So, any volunteers? There's also a prize. Any volunteers? Srilakshmi ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please.
about 15, 18 years ago. When I used to go for my daily walk, and there used to be these two girls in the neighborhood. And then, of course, I was auntie. Now I am amma to them. And then one day, this girl was playing. She is Ramya, and her sister is Soumya. And Soumya was a bookworm, a nerd. I said, "Where's your sister?" This one was 8, and the sister was 12. Oh, she is there sticking her nose in her books. She's crying. I said, "Why?" She got 19.5 out of 20, she said. I said, "Why? She's done well in her race." She said, "No, she's crying because she lost that half mark." And I said, "What exam did you pass?" She said, "Maths." Now I knew maths was a strong point. So I was ready to offer my condolences. I said, "How much did you get?" She said, "I got 6. I said, 6 and you're showing me only 32. I said, "What are your passing marks?" She said, 8. I said, "What are you laughing for?" She said, "Ma'am," she said, "Auntie, last time I got 4. This time I got 6. Next time I will surely get 8. And you know what that girl is today? Today she is a herpetologist. The other day I met her. I didn't know what that word meant. I said, "What is it?" She said, "I go all around the globe studying." She did a course in reptiles in New Zealand. Now she travels all over the globe, having a fantastic life, earning 10 to 20 lakhs a month, living the life. So friends, if you are in the race, have it with grace, otherwise it will stay in your face.
Just for the people who do not know her, for all the guests, our snacks, especially in the break time, is sponsored by Srilakshmi ma'am. So a round of applause. Okay, any volunteers from the guests? Again, yes, please come over.
Same topic?
No, since you've come for your bravery, the biggest room for improvement, the biggest room is the room for improvement. The biggest room is the room for improvement.
Good evening, Toastmasters and fellow guests. I'm a guest, so I'll call the guests as fellow. My name is Aditya, and I'm really happy to be here tonight. Fun story. This is not my first time being on this stage. As I said, I'm a guest. So what's the backstory over here? 2 years ago, I joined this club as a guest, attended 5 sessions. I was enthralled by the speakers that were available over here. Srilakshmi ma'am, Rajdeep sir, I'm a big fan. I follow you guys on LinkedIn. But well, the lockdown screwed us really well, right? We all were caught back in our houses, stuck to a laptop screen, and kind of slouching around on our sofas while trying to keep up with the video Toastmasters, right? At least that was the case for me. 2 years later, I decided that it's time. It's time that I met my mentors in real life again. The first thing that I did today, after coming to Bangalore and being a part of the Toastmasters session that is today, I reached out to Srilakshmi ma'am and Rajdeep sir, and I gave them a small gratitude. That thank you. Thank you for being that muse. Thank you for being that inspiration that inspired me to come back all the way back from Bhopal to Bangalore and be a part of this community again. Hence, the biggest room for improvement, like biggest room that you have is the room for improvement, and I guess the room that we have right now is the biggest enough. So thank you and thank you so much.
No more calling you a guest. You almost sounded like a Toastmaster with lots of experience there. Our next topic is stand apart, leave a legacy. Stand apart, leave a legacy, Toastmaster Robinson.
Stand apart and leave a legacy. Many of you must have read it. It's my signature. Below my signature, I mentioned it. I realized that while I was in an aircraft, I was just thinking, then said, I must do something different from others, something that people will remember me. I am not here to praise myself. I am here to confess what happened to me. I make use of every opportunity that I get to help people, to make a difference. I helped countless people. And I urge you all to do something different, to do something to make a difference for some people. I wait for that, look for that opportunity, and opportunities come. Just go to the, while walking, go to the junction. There are old age people waiting to cross the road. And you know Bangalore traffic, they don't stop. They try to rush, even for voting. Just every day I get 2 or 3 persons, I hold their hands. I just help them to move away. And in law, I'm a lawyer. I work for the government. There's one section, many of the lawyers, many of the people are not read. If you do anything in good faith, that's not an offense. I repeat, if you do anything in good faith, it's not an offense. Long back, I was in the Administrative Training Institute at Mysore, giving a lecture. Suddenly, I got a call from Dr. Baldal, Chandrasekhar Baldal. Have you heard that name? From Director of Manipal Hospital. Now he is head of the hospital. I was the chairman of Organ Transplantation Committee. The committee comprised of 5 persons. Chandrasekhar Baldal phoned me and said, Mr. DSouza, somebody is about to die. He needs a kidney. Kidney is ready. We want the approval from the committee. Can you do something? I thought, oh. I said, I'm here in Mysore. I have meet and pass an order. Sir, he is going to die. That suddenly I decided, Mr. Baldal, go ahead. Just record what happened. Record that I am in Mysore and you have spoken to me. Let us give the life. I will return, on my return, I will approve what action you have taken. The life was saved. Friends, I urge all of you, do something different and leave a legacy.
The next topic is, if you had the opportunity to get a message across to a large group of people, what would your message be? This topic rightly goes to Toastmaster Akanksha. Yeah.
So, hello everyone. It's a different feeling. I'm someone who joined Toastmaster during the online era. So, I'm used to looking at the webcam, not at all the people here. So, it's a very different experience for me. And therefore, my message will be that you need to experience, you need to keep on giving yourself that opportunity to go ahead and experience new opportunities. If you get a chance, go ahead, learn, grow. What happened in 2020 was, we all know, we were locked down inside the house. But I got this opportunity through a friend. She said, we are starting a small club and why don't you become a part of it? I joined it and I loved being a part of it. They said, why don't you pick up a treasurer role? I picked it up. I said, okay, I will try and I will learn. Then they said, why don't you pick up the secretary role? I picked it up. And I grew and I learned. Then next term, again, they came up with, why don't you try VP education role? I said, okay, I will pick it up. And every time it was a new learning. When I started, my hands were shaking, I was feeling jittery. But by the end of it, I felt confident. Now this term, they came up to me and they said, why don't you take up the area director role? I was like, okay, let's try. And here I am, standing in front of all of you. live audience, no webcams, and I'm looking in your eyes and I'm saying that yes, I do feel the jitters, but I'm also enjoying this experience. So my message will be, whenever you get an opportunity, please take it up, because you never know where it is going to take you.
The next topic goes to the newest member of Bangalore Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Sahana. You can come on the stage. I'll give you your talk. What is that one habit you want to get rid of and one habit you want to hold on? Please share with us.
Well, that's a good topic. I thought I would get time to think of it. One habit that I would like to get rid of is how sleepy I am all the time. Throughout the day, most of the times I'm sleepy because of maybe the kind of work that I do, or maybe studying, or sitting in front of the book because of the strain. But the one habit that I want to learn is to control this, fix my sleep cycle, get a healthy sleep schedule, and have a better health. Sleep acts as such an important role, be it in our skin glow or health, fitness, everything. Me being a fitness enthusiast, I know how important it is to get the good quality sleep for 8 hours, and all the different levels of sleep. There is the deep sleep and the phase when you dream everything. So I would like to say that the one thing that I want to learn is be healthy enough so that I don't feel tired, and to stay active enough throughout the day and achieve the goals that I want.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sahana, and congratulations. You spoke for the full 1 minute 30 seconds. So another round of applause. My next topic is, are you more worried about doing things right or doing the right things? May I call upon Ratan Shetty, please. I'll repeat the topic if you want to. Okay, I think I got it. Fine.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Stephen Covey he spoke about the 7 habits of highly effective people. So it's about highly effective people, right? It's not about highly efficient people. So doing things right is about efficiency, and doing the right things is about being effective. And I believe that it's important to be effective rather than being efficient. At the same time, it's important that you keep doing a thing which is right so many times that you become efficient at it. Because unless you are efficient at it, you will not be in a position to contribute or make a difference. I have actually struggled with this concept and tried to understand it, and it's a beautiful concept. Hence, when Table Topic Master asked me whether I wanted it to be repeated, I said no, because I had it within me. And it's so great to be back at the club here, and over to you.
So thank you, and I hope all of you enjoyed, and you reckon with me, or I wanted to reiterate that the enhancement of a table topic session is you come, you listen to the topic, you organize in your head, you speak, and then you learn about it, right? So right now the voting links have been opened for the best table topic. The password is 8444. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I now hand over back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vijay.
Thank you for that amazing table topic session. Did you all enjoy the table topic session?
Yep.
Yes. Can you have another round of applause for the table topic master? With that, we move on to the third part of our typical Toastmaster meeting, that's called evaluation. To evaluate how the session was, let me call on stage Toastmaster Nitin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay, Kalkundri, and fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. It was almost 37 years ago I realized that my dress needed stitching. On that day, in my college, I was attempting to participate in a debate competition. Just before it started, my speech was about to be given. I ran away from the competition, ran out of the room. Many of you know about it. That incident tore my confidence in public speaking. For the next 14 years, I tried finding a tailor who could stitch this torn personality. It was in 1997 I found Bangalore Toastmasters Club. I found so many specialist tailors eager to stitch this particular weakness of willing Toastmasters. And that's what Toastmasters is all about. General Taylor, today, standing in front of you, is going to attempt stitching those small weaknesses along with the set of my team over the town. So let me start with the evaluation of today's meeting. Before the meeting started, I found enthusiastic members writing on the board nicely, and it's well written. I found 2 errors in that. Please note. Wow, pugnacious. I was wondering, what is it? Maybe it's word of the day, I thought. Probably you can correct it. I was but happy to see my designation upgraded to a DTM. Not a DTM. So, Toastmasters board is in charge. Kindly ensure that the designations and the name is addressed properly. Third person is very important. I'm happy, but somebody who writes below, it becomes a little. But the Sargent-at-arms today took the opportunity. I am really proud of you. He came and said, I'm going to take the opportunity. He was not the designated person speaking today, but he took the opportunity, came and spoke very well. Give me a round of applause. Chetan, I have only a few suggestions for you. When you come on the stage next time, or who are Sargent-at-arms, now you are going to start the meeting and you are going to bring that energy to the meeting, right? So I know you're nervous, but try, this is your forum, this is your place where you need to showcase your talent. So come and do as much as body language, voice modulation as much possible. And then the president came on the stage. President of the second term has graduated to a different level. She is a confidence personified. I found a different Hannah Victoria here. President, well done. You are doing a fantastic job, and give her a big round of applause. And President, also, you are showcasing our club. I would suggest an improvement. When you come, you have a little bit of body language and a little bit of a voice modulation that helps. And the second, the minutes of the meeting will start after you open the meeting, not before. That is what you need to consider. And also when you declare the minutes, meeting open. Then he called upon Toastmaster Vijay Kalkundri to be, where is Vijay sitting? Oh, Vijay is sitting here. I've been seeing Vijay for so many years. He is every meeting he has got a different personality, and I like his grace, the way he stands, the way he moves, and the pitch and the pace he speaks. Wonderfully done, Vijay. Give a big round of applause. Yeah. Now, I have a few suggestions to Vijay too. I need to stitch everybody now here. For a Toastmaster, it's very important to do your homework, right? I saw Vijay searching for the listener. Listener was not there. So before the meeting starts, please ensure that all the role takers are in place. If they're not in place, do corrections and don't even call them. And also, the evaluator for the first speech got mixed up. Okay, he was calling the evaluator for the second. So all this, we are all learning. So we need to ensure, especially as a Toastmaster, as a general tailor, we need to ensure that we take care of these small things. But Vijay, I'm always in awe of you. I try to learn a lot of things from him. When he comes, I also told him on many times, I like to copy certain things from him. Then came the speech session, which the first speaker was Guru, and he was being evaluated. Let me not mess up now the evaluator. He's being evaluated by Jose Paul. I request Jose Paul to come out here.
Thank you, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, and our speaker, Guru in particular. Guru, well, I've had the privilege of evaluating your first speech, the icebreaker, when you joined the Toastmasters movement a few years back. And right now, when I'm standing here and evaluating your project speech after you have become a president of a Toastmasters Club, it's a proud moment for me. I'm immensely privileged to do that, and I'm sure all the other club members of our club would be proud of your progress and achievement. I think that's wonderful. So before getting into the evaluation, I have to clarify a small point. Actually, this evaluation is a 360-degree evaluation, and based on your role as a leader, that is a president of another Toastmasters Club. Now, ideally, I think if it's a 360-degree evaluation, we need to have evaluation from different angles and perspectives. So it would have been better if the situation was where your leadership role was in this club and we had experienced it, and we would have been able to give more value add for your role. But however, we know you from a long time. I know you too, and you have taken up some leadership roles in this club as well. And based on your speech and the leadership roles that you've given, let me get into the evaluation of this role. Now, let us first look at the skills or aspects that you exhibited during the course of your leadership role. One skill that is highly essential is motivation for a person to be a leader. And that requires a lot of interest and enthusiasm. And I think that is something that you have in abundance. We have seen that over the years. So that's a great one. And that also helps you to rise to challenges. And that you have exhibited even when you were asked to take up so many roles and so many challenges that you had in your role as a president at the Rising Toastmasters, Rising Speakers Toastmaster. I think you did a fabulous job there. Another one is the interpersonal and relationship building skills. You always had genuine concern for team members, and that's wonderful. That's a great skill that you have. And you have been perceived as a very trustworthy Toastmaster, and I'm sure that that's the reason why people relied on you so many times to take up the leadership role. Another one is teamwork and team building skills. I think this is another one which you have in abundance, and you have supported the organization at all levels, and you've been a facilitator organizing speech crafts. And another one big role that you have, a skill that you have, is reliability. Now, coming to skills that you could work on is also on the purpose and directions and responsibilities under leadership. because I think many a time you have been pushed into the leadership role, as you yourself have told that your friends have pushed you to the leadership role earlier, then and many other situations have pushed you into flexibility. So I think that is some aspect that you could work on. And one suggestion that I have for you is, as I mentioned earlier, if you could possibly consider repeating this project in your in the Rising Speakers Toastmasters Club, I think you would have more value-add feedback given to you on your role. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jose. And coming to Guru, I think Rising Speakers is still online, right? So this is an offline meeting. Adding to what Jose had said, I would like to give 2 points. I'm going to stitch 2 places. I found you very nervous. Now, what gave you away? And now this is my opinion, as a personal opinion, but if you would like to consider it, what gave you away was, one was your leg movements. It was coming like this, and it was going like this. It was coming like this. You please watch the video. The leg movement was constantly hovering in line with your breathing. Your breathing was heavy, going up and down. Sitting in the close quarters, I found that there could be nervousness involved. Probably you need to work on that. Kindly to look into that. But it was a very good effort. I like the speech. I don't want to add anything more to what Jose has mentioned. The next speaker was Lokesh. I request his evaluator, Nagesh, to come over here and give his speech.
Good evening once again, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Particularly to Toastmaster Lokesh. Your speech reminded me of all my mentors, not just in Toastmasters, but even outside in my profession. You had done an in-depth study of the complete project requirement. That's why all that you shared here, standing here on the dais, was a comprehensive package. Toastmasters has got 15 pathways. Almost about 11 pathways, 15 speeches per path, and gives us 300 different competencies by the time we finish all these paths. Why I am saying this is, it is an ocean, and for anybody who starts afresh, it is confusing also. That's what you elaborated here. You need a guiding light during your journey, or when, even if you are a best sprinter or a best swimmer, you need a support system. I like that very well, which came out very strongly in your speech. What more did I like in your speech? Your stage presence. You were calm and composed. Your demeanor was very calm and composed. And the pauses that you took after every instance that you gave about mentoring made us realize, made us absorb, and it is still retaining for us, many of us. Second thing what I liked was when you talked about the mentor. He's a guide. He's a support system. He's somebody who cares. We all know that. But the best part was, about your mentor, you gave us illustrations, which I think is imprinted here. Many of us remember how Toastmaster RD sir has helped you, supported you, and guided you. We'll remember that for a very long time. And third, the biggest thing that what I liked was the call for action. I've seldom seen anybody taking this particular project and giving this type of call for action. The fellow Toastmasters become a mentor. And these are the criteria to become a mentor. You learn a lot by becoming a mentor as well. Thank you for that. One small suggestion for your consideration from my side would be, you talk about your mentor, about the mentoring in Toastmasters. But what about me as a mentee? If I have to be a sponge, what are my other characteristics that I have to have absorb what I am getting from my mentor. That one thing, if you had added, it would have been a great speech. Good to great is what I would say. You are great in your stage presence. With illustration, your speech was fantastic. Call for action was even better. A bit about a mentee would have added great value to it. Thank you, Toastmaster.
And Toastmaster Lokesh, one more suggestion I would like to give apart from what Nagesh mentioned. Your voice is good. You have a very pleasing voice and a good personality. But voice modulation you could try on. You know, I saw the voice at the same pitch, beautifully done. But probably you can experiment on your voice modulation. Probably next project you can work on that. The next speech was given by famous Rajdeep Manwani on not stopping at petrol bunk. And let's see what his evaluator is going to talk about. Toastmaster Sudipto, please come back.
Stories constitute the single most powerful weapon in a leader's arsenal. Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and Rajdeep in particular. Rajdeep, with today's engaging story, you showed the depths of your arsenal. Let me recount the 3 points, which at least were 3 points. The 3 points which made the story so engrossing. The hallmark of a good story is the hook in the story. In this case, the hook which was whether Ruchika is able to make it to the farm or not. And you cleverly introduce so many blockers in Ruchika's path to elongate her journey. And with that, the audience's anxiety levels. We were all listening with bated breath. What's the next obstacle? What's the next obstacle on her way? And how does she circumvent that? That was masterly done, I would say. What's the next point? So now with the hook, you had the audience really hooked into the story, right? So how do you make the story even more real for the audience? And that you achieve with your vocal variety. You raise the tempo and the pitch of your voice. And lower it. And literally when you lowered it, I was at the back and there was a pin drop silence in the room. Everybody wanted to catch every single word from you. And that raised this level of the delivery a notch higher. Thirdly, the vivid imagery you created in people's mind. Traffic backed up. 5th car in the petrol bunk. Muscular guy in a black Innova. Oh man, I still have chills. So with all this led to a really masterful delivery of a story. So can we take it a notch higher? And this, in my very humble opinion, the only place where you could have done that is I felt the twist you introduced at the end of the tale, you know, the man in the dicky of the car. I felt you rushed it a little. Maybe you were running out of time. Few more seconds of pause before you reveal what was in the dicky of the car would have made it much more impactful. But that's it, Rajdeep. It was my absolute good fortune to hear the story, and looking forward to many more pearls from you, Mr. Guru.
Thank you, Sudipto. And Rajdeep, that story was so eye-catching. In fact, I wanted to write something I forgot, and I got built into the story. And going by Sudipto's evaluation, if he takes it one notch higher, I will jump out of the seat. That's going to happen for sure. But I do agree that ending was a little faster. You know, I was wondering what's by the time the story was over, and then I was trying to find out what happened in the end. You know, so that probably that could have been a story a bit, but wonderful delivery of story. I mean, we all need to learn from Rajdeep. of the point system probably it's well thought about, but you had a very little time to explain much about that. Probably you could put in the group, explain, put that thought into members, and bring that about. So that was nicely done, but I'm sure Srilakshmi would have been a little upset about it because you ate in her time on table topics, so she could give only 9 speakers a chance to speak. But Srilakshmi, what a performance. She has a confidence personified with her. She came, she explained about what Toastmasters, table topic is about and how she is going to conduct. Chose speakers from different arena, different age group, different topics. Wonderfully done, Srilakshmi. Give us a big round. Now I'll call upon my team of tailors. First, I would like to call the timekeeper, time manager today, Toastmaster Sharma. Would you like to stand there or would you like to come here?
So kudos to everyone. You all have done a formidable job today, I can say. So Sargent-at-arms took 1 minute 58 seconds. And Hana, totally it was 6 minutes 6 seconds. Toastmaster of the day took 10 minutes 13 seconds. And speeches today, Toastmaster Guru, it took 6 minutes 45 seconds. Toastmaster Lokesh, 7 minutes 3 seconds. Toastmaster Rajdeep, little overtime, that was 8 minutes 18 seconds. So table topic for today. So Toastmaster Alan, 2 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster Saurabh, 1 minute 24 seconds. Toastmaster Neil Sikwera, 1 minute 42 seconds. Toastmaster Surekam, 1 minute 35 seconds. Guest today, Aditya, it took 1 minute 22 seconds. Toastmaster Robinson sir took 2 minutes 49 seconds. Toastmaster Akanksha took 2 minutes 3 seconds. Toastmaster Sahana, 1 minute 5 seconds. Toastmaster Mr. Shetty took 1 minute 22 seconds. And evaluators today, Mr. Nitin took 5 minutes 26 seconds. Toastmaster Jospal took 3 minutes 57 seconds. Nagesh sir took 3 minutes 22 seconds. Toastmaster Sudipto took 2 minutes 49 seconds.
Thank you. I request our counter, Toastmaster Dhanasham, to read out your report.
Good evening. Back to report. Everyone has done a fantastic job, except Joe's board has some arm and 2 pauses, and Hannah also has 2 pauses. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. And to the grammarian, Toastmaster Chetan.
Good evening, everyone. We had some great usage of grammar today. For example, hallmark of a great leader, apprehensive, rummaged, showcasing our club, and in-depth study. We also had some places where we could have improved. For example, extending their support for me could have been extending their support to me. In retrospect, in retrospective should have been in retrospect. It was a new learning, should have been it was a new learning experience. And the pronunciation of one particular word, it's pronounced protege. It's pronounced protege. Please keep that in mind. Unfortunately, I did not notice anyone using the word of the day. I hope you will next week.
Thank you. In the meantime, Toastmaster has also told me that the listener's role has been taken board by Shashank Bhatt. That's wonderfully done. Thank you, Toastmaster, and I take back my words. You have done your homework here. I request Shashank to come over here and give your questions.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. Because of lack of time, I am reducing my questions. I had around 12 questions written. First question: who was Guru's first mentor. Toastmaster Guru's first mentor? Prakash. Correct. So, from Rising Speakers, there were 2 DTMs. First one is DTM Vijay. Who's the second DTM? DTM Praveen Suresh. Moving on to Ruchika's story now. Ruchika worked at Deloitte. What was her position there? Legal. I'm looking for a specific word. Manager, legal affairs. What was the name of Ruchika's boss? Sandeep Gupta. So Ruchika checked the dashboard and she found some notes. How many notes? 200 rupee notes. Right. The last question. We had a bookworm in Toastmasters Sureka's story. What was the name? Soumya. But that's not the question. What's her profession? Can someone raise their hand? It was mentioned. Soumya, I checked with her. Can someone raise their hand and tell me again?
Herpetologist, which means a person who studies reptiles.
Absolutely correct. So, no, that was mentioned. I confirmed with the person. I mean, the meaning was not mentioned, but the. Thank you.
And the last question is, what was the color of Honda City?
Hey, Innova was black.
Innova was black. We all remember. Honda City, whoever gives the right answer, Rajdeep will give him this. Now, voting codes for the Best Speaker Award. Best Speaker 5444. 5444 for Best Speaker. And Best Role Taker 6444. This Best Evaluator 7444. Oh, this is easy. And Best Table Topic Speaker 8444 in that order. 5444, 6444, 7444, and 8444. How will we do one? But evaluator is 7444. 7444.
Very wrong. You consider me as George.
Best Speaker 5444. Role Taker 644. Best Speaker 744. And Table Topic 844. All of you are getting it? You're finished? Overall finished? Can you just raise your hand so that we know? At least 2 hands. Abhay, you are the. Is it fine? Everything is fine? Okay. So that comes to the end of our stitching session. Thank you, committee, for giving this opportunity. I should thank your Vice President Education, Abirama, who has been after me to take up this role. I thank him and the committee very much. Over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster. That was a very exhaustive and elaborative evaluation. Look back and get experience. Look forward and see hope. Look around and see reality. And look within and find yourself. With that, this is Vijay Kalkundri signing off as the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay, for that wonderful session. As we wait for the awards, a few announcements to be made. Speechcraft, that is an 8-week course on public speaking every Sunday. We have it from 10 to 1. It will start on July 24th. More details, our Vice President membership. She will meet you after the meeting and you can brief you more about Speechcraft. And we also have a new thing. All the guests, have they put in their names in the bowl with the pieces of paper?
Yes.
All of you? All the guests. Okay, if you can quickly do that while I do the rest of the announcements. Toastmaster who's amongst us. Thank you so much. Sorry, Division Director, new Division Director, Saurabh Datta, for coming over to our club. Yes, we've seen you time and again, and thank you very much for your support. And also the TPM starts from next week. So it's 12 weeks from the next week until the 30th of September. Yes. The awards for this evening, the best taggle team player goes to Toastmaster Chaitra. The best table topic speaker award goes to Toastmaster Surekha. The best role taker award goes to Toastmaster Nitin. The best evaluator award goes to Toastmaster Nagesh Ramamurthy. And the best speaker award goes to none other than Dr. DTM Rajdeep. Thought we'll do a new way of welcoming our guests and making them feel special. So I invite the Vice President Membership Toastmaster Surekha to please pick, all the guests' names are here. So she picks one and we, give them a surprise gift. It's Kanishk Bhanu. May I now call upon Toastmaster Saurabh to kindly give in your views for the meeting and read After that, we adjourn.
Thank you so much. I think this is the 4th time or the 5th time I'm trying to give out this message, and finally I'm successful. I don't know if I've said this to you before. I did not, because I did not have a chance. The reason I'm standing here today is Bangalore Toastmasters Club. And 99% of the people in Bangalore who want to be, and I'm not being nice to you, 99% of the people in Bangalore who want to be a Toastmaster, they go to Google and search Bangalore plus Toastmasters plus club. And the first name that comes up naturally is Bangalore Toastmasters Club. The next thing that you do is you find the number that's there, you call them up, and then you ask them that what is this all about, and that's how I started my Toastmasters journey. The person who picked up the call that day was Toastmaster Hannah, who was the VP membership at that point of time. She said that I wanted to charter a new club, and she said, I am not the right person. I can tell you how to become a member of Bangalore Toastmasters Club, but then don't ask me how to start a new club. You have to ask someone else. And she directed me to Toastmaster Ayappa, who was the president of the club at that point of time. I'm telling you the name so that you'll believe that what I'm saying is my spoke up story. And from then onwards, my journey in Toastmasters started. And when I became the area director of Area B3, under which Bangalore Toastmasters Club came, I heard a lot of stories about this club, iconic stories that really were intimidating. Oh my God, BTMC is under you. How will you manage? There's such a big club, there's such an iconic club, there are such iconic figures in this club. They will not even acknowledge your presence. And my experience in the last 1 year has been absolutely outstanding. And I'm so humbled by all the love that I got, particularly in the 25th anniversary meeting when I came there. I remember that I could hardly eat because one after the other people were coming and talking to me, and we were, having some very, very nice moments, very memorable moments. Such great Toastmasters, such veteran Toastmasters, each of whom is a legacy in themselves, with so much of humility and modesty. I think there's so much to learn from this club apart from public speaking and leadership. This is what Toastmasters is all about. I was listening to one song today. It's a Toastmasters song. I can send you the link and you can share it in your group. The song ends with this. If there's a Toastmaster and you want to learn, know he's by your side. Because this is all about Toastmaster pride. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sargent. Before we adjourn the meeting, a warm welcome to Toastmaster Robinson Sir's granddaughter. She's with us, and Robinson Sir said, please welcome her. So I take the opportunity to welcome her, and I'm sure you will go on to being a Toastmaster yourself. Yes. Thank you so much, each one of you, for coming over for this meeting, and I'm sure you all had a good time learning, and it is a time well spent. I adjourn meeting number 1332.